Welcome to the JMM Expert Insights Series. This time we are joined by Greg Columbus, the Non-Executive Chairman of Pilot Energy. Greg, thanks for your time today.
Good morning, Jane. Thanks for having me.
So Greg, let's start with a quick overview of Pilot Energy.
Yeah, thanks, Jane. Great question. So previously, Pilot Energy, in conjunction with our JV partner, we're an offshore oil producing business that has for many years run a successful oil production company. Over the later stages of its life, as it was depleting the oil reservoirs, we've been transitioning this business towards a carbon capture and storage project, resulting in the milestone event last year of having the federal government declaration for a carbon capture storage offshore project, the only one so far granted for the offshore Australian environment.
You've also recently completed a major acquisition involving the Cliffhead onshore assets. Tell us why this is significant.
Yeah, Jane, so the significance of the acquisition was as the operator but minority asset owner of the Cliffhead and Arrowsmith facilities. It was a JV between Triangle Energy and Pilot Energy. The 72% ownership that wasn't held by Pilot has now been acquired by Pilot from Triangle Energy. That was announced just a few weeks ago. So the full transfer of that ownership for the onshore assets has occurred, and the offshore asset is now under process with the federal government for the change of title. The significance of that is Pilot Energy will now own 100% of these unique assets. To put that in perspective, what does that mean? These assets have a replacement value today of over 820 million US. So this is a large piece of infrastructure, well placed, ready to be utilised and repurposed for our carbon capture storage project.
And Greg, how is Pilot funding this transition and the development phase?
Yeah, good question, Jane. So there's many, opportunities for value creation through this life of the repositioning and repurposing of this existing infrastructure. First and foremost, our plan is, as widely already announced, is to farm down 60% of this opportunity to the Korean consortium, who have been working with for some time, and a state-owned foreign entity. Combined, they will farm in to 60% of this asset, which will represent over 200 million worth of value to Pilot Energy that will assist us in taking this development for the carbon capture and storage project to the next stage.
Just getting some of your insights here. So what's the market opportunity in carbon management and clean energy, particularly in WA?
Thanks, Jane. Great question. Recently, some of our viewers may have seen some milestone projects globally, one of which was just recently in the UK with ENI and UK government doing a joint venture, which is very, very similar to what Pilot's ambitions are here, utilising and repurposing depleted oil fields. The size of the prize globally is very, very significant for CCUS. Here, locally in Western Australia, the WA government came out recently and said, I quote, Western Australia is well placed to become a world leader in carbon capture and utilisation and storage. Leveraging our expertise, existing infrastructure, highly skilled workforce, and suitable geological formations. This is the WA government underpinning the size of the opportunity. Cliffhead and our onshore Arrowsmith facilities, now owned by Pilot Energy, is the only project in advanced development stage with capacity to meet the WA demand. And what is that WA demand? Well, under the safeguard mechanisms, there's 76 WA facilities that are covered, representing 35% of all covered facilities in Australia. In terms of national emissions, there is here in WA 30% of all Australia's heavy industrial emissions under Scope 1, again representing 11% of the total Australian net emissions for heavy industry under Scope 1. This is a massive opportunity for Pilot, and we're progressing this as fast as we can to capitalise on the growing need for CCUS.
And finally, what should investors be looking forward to from a news flow perspective?
Yeah, thanks, Jane. We've spoken since our recent webinar around several inflection points. I'll start with the first exciting inflection point that should come to air very shortly. Pilot is also the 100% owner of WA 481 permit. That permit, we've released an upgrade to the prospective resource of 1.1 TCF. 1.1 TCF with a Kingia and Highcliffe play in the Perth Basin is a very attractive commercial opportunity. Pilot is looking to farm out 50% of that opportunity, so we'll bring in with the potential of a new operator to have something that we believe is drill ready for a massive prospective resource to be unlocked. To put that resource in perspective, 1.1 TCF, as chairman of Warrego previously, Warrego had 220 BCF and were taken out via a hostile takeover for 480 million. And our net was 220 BCF. Here, we have a resource, a prospective resource of 1.1 TCF that we're looking to farm out 50%. So shortly, we'll be announcing the progress of that farm out, along with any exploration upside. This is a milestone change to the company. Our base project and our formation of their DNA is obviously repurposing these existing assets that have the replacement value of over 820 million US. Repurposing and repositioning these assets for the CCUS project. We're working very, very closely with the Korean consortium, as previously advised, along now with the new entrant, who is a state-owned foreign entity. Collectively, those two, with some documentation to be finalised, will farm into 60% of this project for a value well north of 200 million. That's exciting and that's progressing, and investors should keep an eye out for some updates on that soon.
Greg, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to following Pilot Energy's clean energy journey.
Thank you, Jane. See you soon.